Well, hello there. So, I'm a little late. Red goes to positive. Ooh, no, he's right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to deal with the battery for my ride on lawnmower. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today, right off, is something that Jeannie texted me about, and it's something that I've wondered about. So, on like today, let me just confirm if today is June 10th, yes, it is the Seven of Diamonds. So I've always kind of wondered, how am I affected by this day? And I always kind of assumed that I would be affected more by the planetary ruler of that day. So by my Mercury card, I'd be more affected by my Five of Spades. And as Jeannie sort of entered in and began to sort of tease this apart and we put our brains together, a bunch of insights came out because she observed that the day before a Five of Diamonds day, which is her card, it's the Six of Diamonds, and the actual Six of Diamonds card it sits in Jupiter Mercury. And so she notices that her mind, Mercury, everything that's going on mentally gets bigger. And so she feels anxiety on the Six of Diamonds day, which is really interesting. And so I began thinking, how did I feel yesterday, which was the Eight of Diamonds? And I was a boss. Like the phrase just comes to me, and that's literally what the card means. It's the boss card, it's the CEO card, it's the asshole card, but it's also the uh, logistically organized, seeing the big picture. It was the first day that I felt kind of normal as far as my dopamine and neurotransmitters, and I just flowed with it and just got a bunch of shit done. I was just really practical. Yes, Max, you want to go outside? Okay. So that's something to kind of test out. So we are talking about the spiritual spread of, so the Eight Diamonds would be, it would be my Mercury card, my descending Mercury, or my ascending Moon card. And I've never really, really thought about that, but I think that is actually really an incredibly good fit. And so I would guess that on the first day of the month, that's when you get activated um, by the cycle, meaning I could go back all the way to June 1st, which was the what? Anyway, June 6th is the Jack of Diamonds. June 4th would be the King of Diamonds. And so it's like I could sort of start down from there and be like, yeah, this is how these cards are related to me. What was I feeling? So yesterday being the Eight of Diamonds, one would also ask the question, since that's my, Moon Mercury card, was I experiencing that kind of power mentally and emotionally? And I would say yes, absolutely. So tomorrow will be the Six of Diamonds, when Jeannie will feel anxiety, and maybe I will feel kind of streamlined and feel like I'm on course with my purpose. And then bringing in what Jeannie brought in, okay, where do these cards sit? So that's also an influence. That is such a good point. So yeah, the Eight of Diamonds boss card up here ruled by Jupiter. So it was a kind of gracious, I'm in charge. But it's also, where's the Eight of Diamonds? It's Uranus Saturn. That's where it lives, Uranus Saturn. So maybe I was activated by Uranus and Saturn yesterday, which kind of makes sense. I had another thought about all of this that involved Uranus. Yes, okay, so could it be that Uranus, being the higher octave of Mercury, I am also today affected by my Uranus card? I don't know. It's just a thought because as I began thinking through this, it was really true. So today, I am the 7 of diamonds, and the planetary ruler is the 5 of spades. And oh, me and my just really unpredictable, rather strange emotional life. I, I went through this really, really deep, poignant thing about all my relatives in North Dakota and how we all used to go there for big, huge family reunions. And it all started with this guidepost story. My guides are like, read this story about this lady in gratitude. And I look it up, and it turns out this tiny town in North Dakota that she's from is like in the same little radius as the tiny town that my grandma and all my relatives are from. I mean, like, we're talking 80 people in one town, 8 people left in her town where she's from. And so I had to Google Earth it. And while I'm in Animus, North Dakota, just kind of going, oh, I know my great grandmother lived in somewhere here, although all the time sobbing, just sobbing my guts out. Jeannie texts me and she goes, happy 7 of diamonds day. It's my grandmother's 90th birthday, and she's the 7 of diamonds, and begins telling me about her. I'm like, tell me about this crazy 7 of diamonds, grandma. And it was just this crazy synchronicity. So as I worked my way through this sobbing process, and I'm telling you, it just went on and on and on. And I was like, okay, am I grieving the fact that this is passing? Do I miss this time in my life? And then I realized I started moving forward in a really healthy way, and I began approaching that 5 of spades, not knowing any of this, but I decided, okay, it opened my heart, it healed something, and I realized I want to provide this for my kids going forward. We went on a trip every year, and it was usually to the same place, and it was always the economy trip. We never went anywhere fabulous. We always had a camper and ended up in North Dakota. So I just suggested to my kids, why don't we go somewhere the same time every year? Let's just plan to go somewhere, to travel, the same time every year. And so 5 of spades is about travel. I was like, wow, that is trippy. So look at, whenever a day comes up, look at the planetary ruling card for that particular birthday, and just ask yourself if you're getting activated by that card in your hand. So anyway, Jeannie says, it also hit me that it depends on what my planet is personally for the day. Considering I was born on a Mercury day, so experiencing a 6 of diamonds, 4 of spades day, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of talking, and yeah, that's what my planet is personally for the day. So is this the day of the week, that whole thing? Because I was born on a Saturday. I think I was born on a Saturday, or was it it was either a Thursday or a Saturday. I can look it up. So that sets the planetary vibration of that day for you. So yeah, I don't know if that's what you mean, but some talking, and I will be doing some paperwork for the kids' school next year. Brings up responsibility, but also the talking brings me the mental spiritual satisfaction. Interesting. Of the 4 of spades, so maybe not so much anxiety. Oh, that's good. Yeah, satisfaction. It's a word I always forget for the 4. Thank you. So like experience a 6 of diamonds on a Mercury day is very different than on my Saturn ruled day. Oh. Yeah, and then also it has a planetary, the days of the week have a planetary vibration based on your most recent birthday. Like that set age for the whole year. So you have like a dual planetary vibration for each day. So, yeah, I mean, so I'm just waiting for more people to join, but I'm like, I'm having that self-conscious moment where it's like, oh, it's all about me. Well, it's all about me and Jeannie, right? Yeah, so many layers to the onion. And I think, it's like this morning having this extremely powerful emotional experience. I was like, just wanted to dial up all my astrologer friends and say, hey, what's going on? I was like, did somebody die today and I just don't know about it yet? And it was like, no, that's not how it feels. So, I mean, I'm always wondering, but if I did, it is all about me, right? Because I'm a 7 of diamonds. Um, I think if you dig deep enough, you can find you can find yourself on the map, so to speak. But not to get obsessed with the map. You know, we're in the territory. So it's fun to find ourselves on the map because it's so validating for us for our experience. But do you find that sometimes you just need to be validated in the experience that you're having, and finding yourself on the map gives you that feeling? And I think that's what's so powerful about any divinatory system is that, oh, you hear a description of your card and you're like, oh my God, that's me. Kind of like it's written about me somewhere, or I'm not doing it wrong, or I have some room and some latitude to just to be this way. I think more cards feel that than others, for sure. I mean, there's always, you know, always the cross influences. Like I was thinking about Enneagram and ADHD because mine is just totally in my face right now, which is kind of forcing me to see my brain as separate from my soul, my intentions, where I want to go, what I want to do. I inhabited this set of, you know, physiological, emotional, circumstantial circumstances. That's my body. It's this location, and I decided to inhabit it. But the I isn't ADHD. The I, you know, had an intention with all of that. And I think with the ADHD turned up, I'm seeing them as separate. I'm seeing, oh, this is just a brain thing. What a trip, right? To see, like, I am not my mind. I am not my brain. I am not my body. I am not my job. All the things that you're not. You're not even your card in a way. You are not your card, as opposed to what Robert Camp said. Just try to not be your card. You know, it's true. You can't not be your card, but at the same time, you know, that's why all 5 of spades are different. All 7 of diamonds are different. It's the soul that activates the vehicle. Hello, Venus squared Pluto yesterday. Also, Jupiter squared Saturn and Neptune going on. In about a day, Mars will square Uranus. This is going to be one of the most intense weeks of the year. You're not any of this, you're actually all of it. If you know your cards, you can play them. Oh, right. But you're the player, you're the decider. Right. And you can decide how you feel about each one of those cards. Like reframing Ophelia, that's something I did. The asteroid 171 named Ophelia. I totally reframed that whole thing, and I was like, God, is so much typology kind of like black and white and like negative, like these are the bad planets, these are the negative asteroids. And I'm like, can we call Pluto a bad planet? But anyway, Green Knight, that's fascinating. All those squares. So Venus squaring Pluto feels like Eris. It feels like Eris, doesn't it? Because Eris is the feminine Pluto, and they just had a conjunction. And tell me, astrologers, about this theory. When there is a significant boom, okay, there was this stellium, right, on June 1st with Chiron, Venus, and Eris. Do the ripples go out, forward, and backward in time? Do you feel it before you get there, and do you continue to feel it as you move away from it? And some people talk about the full moon that way. Oh, what's the full moon in? It looked full last night. But yeah, some people feel it before and some people feel it after, you know. And interesting, the same way with the cards, what Jeannie and I were talking about. Today's the 7 of diamonds. What did the 8 of diamonds feel like to me? What did the 9 of diamonds feel like to me? So I was teaching class on the 9 of diamonds, and I felt just really, it was really, you know, energy flows out from the 9, and that's what it felt like to me. And also, one of the students is a 9 of diamonds. And Jeannie's karma card is the 9 of diamonds, so boom. yeah, we had a really powerful, God, everything fit. Everything really fit. And it was harmonious. And 9 of diamonds would be my Venus card, right? So that's interesting. So as I continue to move forward, 6 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, how am I going to experience each one of those as aspects, as cards in my hand, as the planetary intersections that they occupy? And your ruler is the 9 of diamonds. Yeah, and on top of that, both of them were analyzing relationships that had the 10 of clubs in common. And so it was like, oh my God, talk about a twofer. Yeah, it was really amazing. So the moon's full tomorrow. Usually fixed signs feel it a little before. Cardinal signs feel it right on. And mutable signs tend to feel it a bit later, just in my experience. Okay, so is the fixed, mutable, and cardinal, is that like the first of their, okay, so Aries, what's Aries? It's the first fire sign. Or is it the season? The first thing in the season. Okay, so Leo would be the second month or the second sign in the season of summer. So is it in the middle being fixed? Oh, hi, 6 of spades. How's it going? There are no quincunxes. Energy attracts the energy that needs to be there. That's why we had all the synchronicities. Oh, is that why? And you're talking astrologically? Oh my God, you guys, the stuff we have, the power we have to decode what's going on with us based on just the knowledge in this room here. So, Merging Spirit Girl Boss Sharon, I'm good. I'm really good. Thank you. So when it's a 6 of spades day, how do you feel? And there aren't that many of them, right? And so you have less of an opportunity to experience this. The high diamonds and the low clubs will have the most opportunity to play around with this whole thing. Wow. So, yeah, I'm trying to remember what Leo is, if it's mutable, cardinal, or fixed. But I did feel like I had that figured out at one point, and I think it's whether they're the first, second, or third. Okay, thank you. Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio are fixed. And is that because they're in the middle of the season that they occupy? Is Scorpio the middle sign for fall? Leo is fixed. The sun never dies down. Right? Fruitful vibes. Hi. Leo is fixed. It's the middle of summer where no changes occur. Okay, so it is the middle sign of a season where there's no changing, and it's mutable because the season is ending, right? The last one in the season, so September would be mutable. Do we say Virgo is mutable? And do we say cardinal because it's beginning? Yeah, because I know Cancer is cardinal, right? Yeah, okay, I got it. The first is cardinal because they're the leader of the season. Fixed is because it ain't going nowhere, and mutable is because it's going to mutate into the next season. Love that. Okay, so going back to when we feel the full moon and that type of stuff, or aspects. Green Knight and Green Knight's experience, he says fixed signs feel it a little before the cardinal signs. The cardinal signs feel it right on when it's happening, and the mutable tends to feel it a little bit later. So I'm a fixed and I feel it before. Yeah, I do feel things before. I tend to feel them before they happen, and it's almost annoying. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces are the mutable, so they would feel the full moon after. So are you feeling, if you're feeling the full moon now, the question would be, are you a fixed sign? Is that a fit for you? And where is the moon? It's full. Okay, where are we right now? We are in the sign of Gemini, so Sagittarius, full moon in Sagittarius, it's always the opposite. So does that mean, here's a great theory, if the full moon is in Sagittarius, do we look at our Jupiter card to think that might get kind of activated in our hand? Fixed is the fullness. Fixed, I tend to feel it a week before. Okay, so there's confirmation. So yes, we are now waiting for confirmation that the full moon is in Sagittarius. And if that's the case, do we look to our Jupiter card? And I would say look to your Jupiter card of like this year. What's your Jupiter card, whether you're in that period or not? And that's another thing to study, is that we tend to focus on the card of the 52-day period, but if you notice, hey, I'm having huge issues with my brain this year, then you would look at the Mercury card. I gotta go get my notebook. That's all there is to it. So this is a day for asking questions, and maybe it's because the 5 of Spades planetary ruler, I mean, we're in Gemini, and the 7 of Diamonds leading this is very curious. 5 of Spades likes to go in a lot of different directions. 58, what is my Mercury card? Oh my God, it's the 8 of Hearts. Healing. And I asked my guides, what the fuck is going on? What is happening? And I got the healing card. They're like, we're healing something. That's really good news. Yes, and it is giving me more clarity about what's important to my heart. Because I'm going, okay, the brain is kind of fucked. Let's just come over to the heart. Jeannie, the way I read the strength of the moon depends on how it's aspecting your natal moon. If it's occurring within like 5 degrees of the natal moon, you may feel it stronger. Or if it's like fire or something, because if it's full moon in Sagittarius, my moon is in Aries. So would I get more fired up? Because that, I ask novice questions of my astrology people. You should be asking me card questions. No, anyway. It's far from it. I would consider what phase it's creating with your natal moon, and that can show you a whole lot. All this depends on your personal chart too. What's your modality balance and your elemental balance and where all your other placements are. Oh, it's going to be a Sagittarius full moon, and really it kind of depends on where your Jupiter is for this one. Okay, Jupiter will be in Cancer. I have a stellium in Cancer. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, Jupiter, Mars, and Venus are in Cancer. Okay, does that make everybody friendly? I've noticed the day that Jupiter went into Cancer, all of a sudden everybody got really friendly. Depends on, well, friendly to me, right? Because of my placement. Jupiter will be in Cancer where it is exalted, and it's also the ruler of Sagittarius, so this is going to be a major Jupiterian full moon. So it's just going to bring up your personal relationship with Jupiter, and that's something I've always thought. Sharon, I'm an Aries, stellium, first house, Aquarius, Sun, and Libra. Wow. So with the first house stellium, is she going to be more affected by the fact that that's Aries, a fire sign, like Aries, my moon, and the full moon in Sag? I mean, I feel, okay, Sharon, how are you feeling? Here's the question. Let's look at the territory. I am feeling a massive fullness of heart. fullness of heart is like the best way I can describe it. Like, I've been going through a lot of, things that I can name, but this is something I can't name. It's like a massive expansion of the heart. Okay, so the Nine of Spades is my Jupiter card, and I think, here's my theory, I had a whole bunch of dead relatives visit me this morning because my guides are like, I just got my new Guidepost magazine. I freaking love Guideposts. My mom always gifted me a subscription, and so I started gifting my niece a subscription. I have to ask her if she's actually getting it, but my guides are like, go read this article on page 22, and it was this. Oh God, I hope I don't start crying. I'm just gonna not cry. This little North Dakota lady, she's 71, and she's talking about life on the farm, basically. And all my relatives are from there. Nostalgia, that word does not even come close. It's my roots. It's something that I profoundly need to connect with right now. And more of them are dead than are alive, including my mom. And then I looked up the town that this lady's from. Turns out it's in this same like 2 to 6 square mile area of all these teeny tiny towns in North Dakota. So I was just overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. And I think I got barraged by all these dead people. That's why I'm saying that the Nine of Spades in Jupiter is that I get really blessed by the beyond and like giving readings and stuff. Nine of Spades, like I guess maybe I can expect some metaphysical visitations because that's how that Nine of Spades operates in my chart. I did get a small inheritance. I mean, that's one benefit there. But it's more that I just get really, really, really blessed from channeling other people's, what's beyond the veil, dead people, guides, all that kind of stuff that I get gifted over and over again, just personally. But anyway, yeah, kind of meandering. So let me just ask you guys for today, are you being affected by the Seven of Diamonds, Five of Spades planetary ruler, or ascending Seven of Hearts planetary ruler? The Seven of Hearts would be, in the exalted, it's perfect, pure love. In the more, I don't know, developmental side, it's letting go of attachments around love, disappointment, grief, sadness, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, Seven of Diamonds, what might you be feeling? It would be, okay, for Jeannie, being a Five of Diamonds, is there a Venus vibe to it? For the Five of Spades, who is present here, would you be feeling your Moon card, the Seven of Diamonds? Would you be activated by, okay, issues around what I do is important, what I do is valuable and precious, what I do is lucrative? I cherish my own uniqueness, or maybe all the woundedness around feeling strange or unique, self-esteem issues. If it's an ascending Mercury card for you rather than a moon card, the ascending Mercury would be giving other people the gift of helping them see their preciousness, uniqueness, and value, which you definitely do with your astrology, which is like, I see you. That's what Seven of Diamonds need to hear. I see you. And I think that's what you do with your business, is that's what you're doing with your voice. I see you. I value you. I see your uniqueness. And you certainly have accumulated a lot of skills with which to do that. So if you guys are commenting, it's not showing up just because internet is glitchy at my house. Sharon, I was told last week I have to move by the end of the month. Oh, that's rough. So with today being the Five of Spades planetary ruler, is something coming up around that move? Okay. Oh, Sharon, how old are you? We can look up your cards. So let's just open it up to questions. If anybody has a question about absolutely anything regarding their cards, tell me your age and we can look up what's going on for you and what your cards are right now. Yeah, I got the Queen of Spades right now. It was the same last year, 4th of July weekend, that I moved. So it's almost a year that I've been here, and now it's time to go again. 56. Wow. And what period of the year is this for you? Is it like, Jeannie says, this full moon is full of insight for you because it's trining your sun in Leo and your moon in Aries. Oh, it's the other fire sign. Right, my moon is in Aries, my sun is in Leo. I don't have anything Sagittarian, although my 9th house is full of my North Node, Taurus. Wow, that's great. Talk about emotions needing to be expressed loudly and strongly. Thank you. Like I was sobbing really loudly. Okay, so is your birthday in January, Sharon? I'm trying to remember. Oh, wait, that's 55. We want 56. 56. Okay, when I turned 56, I felt like it was a whole new syllabus, like much more so than the other beginnings of new 7-year periods. And it's because it's the next set of 7, I think, that it felt like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. What's going on? I used to feel like I knew what was going on, sort of. You're in your Jupiter. Okay. Okay, you're an Aquarian, which means, and I wanted to ask you this too, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Ace of Clubs. So there are a lot more Ace of Clubs and Two of Hearts days in the year. Well, there's only like one Two of Hearts day in the year. Anyway, on those days, you know, there are more of those. I just wanted to offer that. Okay, so 6 of Spades. I would look to the 7-year spread to see what is the theme about moving and where does that sit. So that would be 8. Age 8, I think it would be. Let's look at age 8. Karma. The Mercury cards for the 6 of Spades descending. Or no, that's age 7. Sorry. My bad. 6 of Spades. 8 of Hearts descending Mars or Mercury, which is what I've got this year. Ascending Ace of Diamonds. So this year has a theme of new beginnings. Let's confirm that with this great book of wisdom. 6 of Spades, 56, long range. Yep. So your ascending long range card for this 7-year period. Oh no. For this year is the 8 of Hearts and the Ace of Diamonds. So new beginning. Oh, your long range card for this new 7-year period is the 9 of Spades. So there's some work around letting go, endings throughout this whole 7-year period. It's also harvest. Yeah, okay, one more thing before I look at the comments. Sorry, we're cooking now, but I'll just get distracted if I look. Okay, I want to see what your Jupiter card is. Probably already told me. Here you are. You're in Uranus, Mars this year. So descending, you have Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. 9 of Diamonds. Ending. Okay, but it's the real estate of the 3 of Spades. Sitting in the real estate of the 3 of Spades, so being pulled between 2 different locations. Then your Saturn period is the 5 of Hearts. There's the moving. Okay, ascending Mercury this year is 5 of Diamonds, so a change in values. Ascending Venus is the 3 of Hearts. Venus is home. Ascending Mars, 2 of Spades, Jupiter, Jack of Clubs, which is sitting in the real estate of the 8 of Diamonds. So there may be some, this move may be about helping you to winnow down to what it is that is really important to you. What are your convictions? Ascending Saturn is the 9 of Hearts. So again, that ending theme. And yeah, we'll just leave it there. So if you want to screenshot this, if you don't have it, I would say screenshot this and you're down there in Uranus, Saturn. Sorry, that's crooked. And you can look Ascending Hand. Oh, hot. I'm hot. So, oh, good. Oh, hey, Ray is here. In whole sign, the moon is your 4th house, so bringing in wisdom from your roots, the ancestors. Ooh. Also, the feeling like you need to move around as a push from the ancestors. You're divinely guided by them. There's probably something back home that is waiting for you, something, perhaps an item you may not even know is left behind for you, or just a revelation of some kind. Is that for me or Sharon? Because it really fits. Moon's 4th house. Well, my moon is 7th house Aries, so maybe. Hey, now got here early, sort of. Okay, good. Yes, Jeannie. Or just a revelation of some kind. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, I love it. Oh, it was for me. Well, I guess it fit for Sharon. Wow. No, maybe she's thanking, maybe Sharon's thanking me for all the stuff I was telling her about her ascending hand. Yeah, the 8 of Diamonds vibe is all about, I love that vibration because it's, and it's your ascending, it's your descending Mars, isn't it? It just helps everything else fall to the side and you can just really seize on what is important to you. Everything else gets to dissolve away. That's the clarity that an 8 can bring. So if you're someone who needs energy, that feels like scouring powder to help you get clear. So, you know, I actually asked my guides for an item. I was like, I don't care what it is, but give me an item so that I can sort of venerate the roots, the North Dakota roots of where I come from. Because living on this 5-acre spread, and I had to get a battery today for my ride-on mower, and I mean, I love this frickin' ride-on mower. I'm like, I feel like Aunt Marianne and Uncle Bud on the farm just a little bit. And I do have chickens. But other than that, it's not really a farm. It's just land, you know. So anyway, Cancer. Okay. Cancer. I was thinking about this, you astrologers. Cancer, Jupiter, home, memories, nostalgia, big. That's a really good fit, isn't it? Cancer is looking back, maybe inflating the past in a way. I mean, this positive experience was, like I said, it was so much bigger than nostalgia. Big feeling. And it was beautiful and just racked with emotion. And it was kind of cool to not be able to name it. I was just feeling it, but it was big. I've been surrounded by the ancestors and they have been helping me. I feel them very strongly. Okay, what astrological aspect would represent the ancestors? What planet would that be? I'm a Virgo rising. Sharon is Aries rising. Right. So your house is all like, all your houses kind of fit. So, yeah. So if we're feeling the ancestors, Jupiter is conjunct Mercury in your third house. I'm Cancer. That's why it made sense to you. Oh my God. I'm glad that made sense to you. I'm not follow. Leo rising. So we've got 2 fire risings. How are you guys emotionally with this full moon energy coming and this whole Jupiter? I mean, is it, Green Knight says this is going to be a very, very difficult and intense week. I would say that I've had the instinct to put self-care on the forefront. And like whatever's going on out there in the world, I just can't handle it. I don't want to handle it. I don't even care. I just don't care. I mean, because it just is what it is and it'll all work itself out. I mean, I'm very curious and interested and I do think I know what's going on, but it's like I can't emotionally afford to be involved. Rising, North Node, Saturn, Venus, and Chiron, Aries. Oh my God, that's a lot of Aries. Holy shit. 4th house is the roots where you come from. So your ancestors are in the 4th house. Okay, 4th house is ruled by Cancer. Right. Right, directly across from 10th. So what's the relationship there between the 4th and the 10th? I mean, all of the opposites, you know? So Cancer, Capricorn. I think of Capricorn and spades representing the ancestors or the age, the wisdom, the feeling of age and wisdom. But Cancer feels right. Yeah, holy shit, what do you do with all that, Aries? That's like, what's your biggest challenge with that much Aries? Like, what kind of drugs do you need to take? What kind of supplements do you need to take? What kind of neurotransmitters do you have too many of? So I'm doing this layering thing. Psychology of inner child, neurotransmitters, card, astrology, and I'm just like sandwiching it all together right now. Oh, plus the ADHD, of course. The lack of executive function. Does that mean ADHD people have a harder time forming the voice of the parent within? That is a huge question that I came across yesterday, which would have been an 8 of diamonds vibration to me significantly. Seeing the big picture, and it's karma to the 7 of clubs, so it was like this big huge insight. And Queen of Spades, it's like, yes, that's all about self-mastery. If that's the case, that's why I feel like a homeless child, a motherless child in this world, it's, where is my parent? How am I going to do that? What's my strategy? So anyway, just my own stuff. It's the light of the moon versus the restriction of light in the Saturnian opposition. So that's the Cancer Capricorn relationship she's talking about. That's freaking intense, right? Because I have a stellium in the 10th house in Cancer, because my chart's flipped upside down. Smoke a doobie. That's your medication. God, I love that. Perfect, because it's so yin. It's so yin. The mother Jane is very, very yin. I can't do it because I'm too yin. I have too much yin and it makes me paranoid. So yeah, it softens the masculine energy. Okay, Green Knight. Polarity points are big in evolutionary astrology. So the 4th house does relate to the 10th house, and they come alive or in composite charts with someone that you have a relationship with. Okay, so that makes sense. So I'm going to be really activated by Capricorns, is what you're saying? Because I totally am. They trigger the fuck out of me. My mom, January 1st. This aunt who died last winter, who was the heart of the farm, I was remembering January 1st, same birthday as my mom. The essence of Capricorn energy. I mean, I love them. They're so important to me, but I'm also like, oh, there's that there's that. And I just want to tell it, stop fucking with me. Stop pretending you're the boss of me. That's how I feel about Capricorns. They're like so adult. And I'm like a Leo. I'm like such a child. I'm like, whatever. Okay. Jeannie says, fourth house, your ancestors and your roots, what you came here through. Okay, before I finish reading this, I don't want to forget. ADD thought flitted into my head. I want to showcase you guys. I am going to learn how to do Zoom and YouTube at the same time, and I will interview you for your expertise and what you do, and also your card. And wouldn't that just be so freaking much fun? Tell me what it's like to be a 5 of diamonds, a 5 of spades, a 2 of spades, a 6 of spades, all of you. I just think that would be so fun. And like, yeah, we got a groove going on here. Wouldn't it be fun to like have a live conversation with you guys? Make sure you like my video. Okay. Fourth house, ancestors and your roots, what you came here through the womb. Oh. And the 10th is the legacy you leave behind, which requires the structure of Saturn. Ooh, that's profound. That's so rich. I feel greedy because I love this information so much. Jeannie, Saturn rules Capricorn, and Aquarius Saturn opposes the two luminaries by opposing the sun and moon, Cancer and Leo. That's why the winter can be so dark and gloomy versus the lightness and brightness of the Cancer Leo seasons. Oh, that's so true. Sharon, so I am not as impulsive, and I have that delayed reaction before speaking, so that's how it helps me. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Capricorn think they're the boss of everyone. Oh, okay. So it's not just me. Do we have any Capricorns here? Do Capricorns also just come off like they have their shit together? Or do their egos tell them they're supposed to have their shit together? Or when they do have their shit together, they like to just like bounce it out around there, like big boobs flopping around. I got my shit together. Look, look. Kind of like hens puffing their chests out. Okay, we've all got our. I like the way I said that. What our egos tell us we're supposed to. So what does your ego tell you you're supposed to? And then when you are feeling or doing or achieving that thing, you feel superior. And when you don't have that thing, you feel inferior. And when you see someone that does have that thing, you get really triggered and you want to criticize them or worship them. What does your ego tell you that you are supposed to do, be, or have? That is a great question. Well, Capricorns are ruled by the father of time and the karmic enforcer, right? The big boss. Oh, thank you. Okay, so it's my way of just saying, hey, they're not Capricorns. They're just living in Capricorn bodies. And this is just their assignment. It's true for everybody. When I think about videos that I've made, if I was really dissing on somebody, I'm like, uh-oh. what if they watch and they're like, oh, and I'm like, I got to be really careful about that. Like, I have let my asshole self really out in my last couple of videos. And yeah, thank you, Eris. My God. So I have another, like, it's just me being so greedy for information from the astrologers here. So if you're like, God damn it, I wish you'd just talk about the cards, just like ask me a card question and I will get going. But I have been wondering, why Eris, why now? If she's occupying Aries for 500 years, why now? Why this sudden activation? And it must be because she's aspecting one of the outer planets somehow. She's just come into an aspect that to me feels like an outer planet. It's slow moving, it's titanic. And it's probably Saturn because I said Titanic. He's one of the Titans, Kronos. Anyway, most of them actually do have their shit together. I know, that pisses me off. It really does. Your best friend is a Capricorn. It's not an ego thing with Capricorns, it's actually a soul thing. Oh, well, that's very interesting. They do have the advantage of seeing the bigger picture, being able to assess what's important and simply do it. They have discipline. And the spades, the fact that January is mostly spades. I mean, my friend who is the 6 of Hearts born on Christmas Day in December, I think she's more approachable because of that, but she's still very Capricorn. But anyway, yeah, I think that whole spade thing gives them that feeling of weight. Jeannie, yeah, I would say it depends on the whole chart whether a Capricorn can have their shit together, because a Capricorn rising with Saturn in a bad space will create delays. Depends on the whole chart. Yeah. Sharon says, I have a Capricorn son who is a 2 of Hearts and a Capricorn niece 6 of Hearts, which is this Christmas Day, same as my friend. Could it be Saturn moved into Aries for the next 2 years? Oh my God, Sharon, I think you just nailed it, because that's when it really kind of exploded. It's not really Eris, it's Chiron and Venus conjuncting it, giving it healing, hopefully, anyway. Okay, and how long is that conjunction going to last? Because I know it was exact on the 1st. I'm like, how long are we going to be feeling the intensity of that? And does this account for women getting really feisty and angry as well? I mean, because I've seen some destructive anger as well as some constructive anger. Yeah, and Saturn is also conjunct Neptune, so literally crossing the veil of karmic shit. Oh, right. Right. Oh, this is so intense. Okay, so here's the big bomb question of intersecting the cards with this. Since it's one of those asteroids out there, can we find it in the cards? Chiron would be more relevant, right? Because it's so big. And most astrologers include Chiron these days a lot more routinely. I had to search high and low to find anything on Ophelia. And on my other channel, I did a whole exposition on, and I'm sorry, it gets long in the tooth. I do that sometimes, but I get all into my personal story about what Ophelia is in my chart. And she's in my house conjunct Pluto and Uranus. So big freaking deal, really all about the transformation. And I'm through all of it so I can look back and see, oh, this is exactly the formula for Ophelia. It was just like such a revelation, and I just want to gift the world with my insight regarding that. If you want to work with Ophelia, 171. But where do you think Chiron would be in hand? Okay, I don't know. If you have a theory. It's not, let's see. Yeah, Saturn is also conjunct Neptune. Yeah. I will say Capricorn risings, it can be an ego thing. Oh, so the rising sign is more ego investment. You know, Green Knight, I have to say, you have a level of non-attachment, and it's dispassion, which is sort of a Capricorn thing, and it's because you're a spade, I think, but you have a level of dispassion with your voice that is so refreshing. It's so lucid. I love it. And me, it's just like dripping with passion and emotion, and sometimes I get really sick of that. Can be an ego thing. Me and my Capricorn friend enjoy being spades. Yeah, well, I would too. And Saturn is checking on your sense of self. Everyone will be questioning who the heck am I, and more importantly, who has my soul been and what has it been through to get me here? What is the purpose of this incarnation? Yes. Yeah, it's during this period that I realized that my ascending Neptune, the Ace of Clubs, is like that ultimate desire. And I've often wanted to have a near-death experience just so that I could answer all of those questions. Who the heck am I? And my guides are like, you are not supposed to know the answer to some of that because it would fuck up your purpose here. You're not supposed to know. They give me little whisperings and I'm like, okay, whatever. Conjunction is over, so it actually needs to happen quickly, the healing. Okay, the Chiron Venus Eris conjunction is over, so the healing needs to happen quickly. Asteroids are not rulers. They wouldn't be in the cards, in my opinion. They're sprinkles on the Sunday. DAE. Yeah, I think I would agree with that. But they certainly are powerful, aren't they? I mean, I think it depends on where they're aspected in your chart. Man, we should just entitle this video astrology. This was really cool though. So yeah, the view count says 3. Do we have any more card questions? I feel a little bad that we went off in that other direction, but I loved it. I freaking loved it. The big challenge I see as a whole is people being pushed to believe in themselves and not rely on other people for validation. That's the Libra Aries axis of these transits. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to read that again. The big challenge I see as a whole is people being pushed to believe in themselves and not rely on other people for validation. That's what I see as a really, really, really huge theme here too. Okay, so I watched this video, creeped me out and amazed me. It enlightened me and scared me. And I have to just like put it totally over here. And I saw it last night, and it was this woman. It was a Facebook video. Can't tell you her name, but she's like, okay, so my father was an astrophysicist who worked on the Black Projects or something like that, like some connected dude. And she's like, what is your phone doing? What is it doing? What is it for? And she was talking about like the energy body, the auric field, the biosphere, the biofield, and there are all these different names for it. And then in all this crazy documentation of like DARPA and all this stuff, they talk about the human biofield, and it explains why your phone can read your mind and the advertisements and shit. I mean, it reads my mind when my phone isn't with me and I'm not saying it out loud. It's simply an experience I'm having, and maybe it gets recorded or maybe it gets picked up by the whole field and then it gets sent to my phone. I don't know, but it is technology and people interacting in a way that she began to touch on that relationship, I think, and everybody in the comments, I don't think anybody said anything negative. They were all like, I don't understand that, but I understood it. I don't understand that, but that made perfect sense, and I believe her. And she gets real dark and negative about reincarnation at the end, and I'm like, okay, that's the part you have to leave out. And love and the soul are more powerful than all this shit, right? We're inhabiting it for a reason. But why did I bring that up? Because I was without my phone for about a day, and I never felt so liberated. And it's that Libra Aries thing that you're talking about, Jeannie. It was like, I am not in relationship to my phone and everything that goes on with it. I am I. Yeah, so that was my experience of exactly what you're talking about. Is like, I want to exist relative to myself and nature and the natural unfoldment of time and people. And, you know, some people want to place Chiron as co-ruler of Libra and Eris as co-ruler of Virgo. but I don't really agree with that. I could see it fitting, being a fit with Virgo, but I don't see why it would fit with Libra. I mean, he's terribly handsome. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I really appreciate that, and I know what you're responding to. But yeah, that video was totally trippy about the biofield. And I just was thinking, I do not want my life to be subject to that energy. I think that we all think that we are sovereign. We like to believe we're sovereign. And yet, you know, when you see these neuro-linguistic programming experiments where some guy's talking up front and he's doing this or that and he mentions these various things and then he tells everybody to draw this and then draw this and draw this and draw this, just gives them a prompt. And then they end up all drawing the same exact thing because he has neuro-linguistically programmed them. I was playing cribbage with my husband one day and I tried this. I felt like it was practically evil. No, it wasn't really. It was very informative, but because I can't make myself go with this kind of thing to intentionally manipulate someone like that. But I wanted him to lay a 9. And so I just started saying little phrases like, yeah, I don't know about that whole cats have 9 lives thing. And, you know, I just started saying all these phrases that had to do with 9 and was sort of bantering and sort of piecing them together. And sure enough, he laid a 9 down. And I said, I made you do that. And he goes, no, you didn't, you know, and it's like, we're so offended at the idea that we've been manipulated into something. But anyway, leaving your phone at home while you go do shit, at least you can avoid it for a while, or turning it off. Make sure you have a good case to protect your phone. So I have the Defender Shield. It's only one side, so I actually cut my other one apart and put the panel in the back. So mine is, and it doesn't affect well, in a minor way, it does affect its receptivity, but anyway, yeah, we're kind of at an hour, so I think I'm going to go now unless we have any other comments or questions. I just have to thank you, astrologers, so much. This was so fun, and I'm serious. I really would love to do so. Green Knight entertained that idea and what we might talk about and so forth. We have very different styles. You definitely have that spade kind of energy, and I'm just like, blah, 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 you know, all over the place. And Jeannie, of course, it doesn't matter what the topic would be. You could drop a bug between us and we would just be like, blah, 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 and like all these insights would come out. It's just, we activate each other. That's the word. So, and if anybody else has an idea of what they would love to come on and talk about, we can always just talk about what it's like to be your card. I really would love to do that. So, but I think I'm going to try to do it with my daughter first, the 8 of clubs. And that way I can like really mess it up and not feel bad. I'll be emotionally safe. So anyway, have a really great day, you guys. I'm going to go. And I'll see you again later. Definitely next Tuesday, maybe before. Bye.